king cake, and that means today we have a special guest because I don't know how to make one. Beau Gascoigne does. He's from Port-La-France Catering, and he's here to show us how to make a king. You already made one. We have one beautiful cake right over there. But I mean, the idea of a king cake, it sounds like it's pretty overwhelming. It's not that hard?
It's not too bad. It's a labor of love. It's going to take you some time because it's called a cake, but it's actually made from a bread dough.
Right.
So it's going to take some time for that yeast to develop.
It's rising and all.
Right.
Okay.
So that's going to take some time. But other than that, it's a pretty simple recipe.
Well, I can see one thing we need here is about 40 eggs.
Well, I brought those today to highlight Nest Fresh eggs. They're an amazing product. They're here out of Denver.
Yeah.
They are the first certified GMO or GMO verified eggs.
So they're what you use, I imagine.
They're what we use. They have an excellent flavor, cage-free, great product. So I wanted to highlight them today and show them
Well,
off.
let's get to caking.
All right, sounds good.
Is that the right terminology?
Sure,
Caking?
why not? Okay, so
So you got the yeast right away.
Yes, so what we're gonna do first, we got 2 packets of yeast that we're gonna add to some warm water. I'm gonna do that right in the mixer so I don't have to change that out later.
Right. And you say by adding the yeast, we're adding time too. So how much time? We're gonna obviously, shorten it up for TV.
Right, so we're not gonna let this bloom all of the way, but we're gonna pretend like we are. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of sugar in there. That's gonna help the yeast. It gives it some food so it can activate. We're gonna want this to set for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's in some lukewarm water. You don't wanna go too hot. Don't go over 110 degrees. You'll kill the yeast.
Okay.
And then that'll sit and it'll start to bubble and it'll get kind of a creamy look to it. And that's when you know it's ready and we'd start adding other ingredients to it.
We skip ahead.
Yep, we're gonna skip ahead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some other ingredients to that. So what I've done is I've pre-melted some butter and milk in a saucepan.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do to that is we're gonna whisk in some eggs.
A couple of those eggs.
A couple eggs. Some sugar.
Okay.
A little bit of salt.
Right.
And some nutmeg.
Nutmeg, all right, there's a
And that's what's gonna really give the dough a really nice flavor, nice nutty flavor. So we'd whisk that all together, and then that's gonna get added into our yeast. Now, imagine that this has been setting 10 minutes and it's all of that niceness to it. That would go in there. We would get this running.
Grind that out for a while.
And yeah, let that mix up for a little while. Once that's all thoroughly mixed together, we're gonna start adding in our flour.
How much?
We're gonna add 5½ cups of flour.
So there's a lot of flour.
A lot of flour, yeah.
All right, let's move ahead because
we'll
we
do
want
that.
to see all that.
The one thing I did want to point out is we're gonna add the cups of flour just 1 cup at a time.
Okay.
So that it mixes in evenly that way. You don't end up with big clumps of flour that are in there. Yep. All right. So now we're gonna move on to, we're gonna pretend that we've mixed that dough up. Yes, this is what that's gonna turn into. So what I wanna do is put a little bit of flour on my board. We're going to...
And we have to shape this cake, among other things, right?
We do. There's a couple steps, though, before that. So first we've got to knead it and let it rise.
Okay.
So you're just going to put it on a board. Kneading is really easy. You just push it forward, fold it in half, turn it a quarter, fold it in half, push it forward, and it's just that motion.
To properly knead it, you're talking a pretty good bit of time?
Yeah, 8 to 10 minutes.
All right.
Now you can let the mixer do some of the work for you. And then just finish it off. You want a nice elastic dough.
All right, we're going to skip expedite for time here. So
no problem.
We've made our dough.
Yep.
And I'm seeing you got all this stuff here. Is this stuff going in or on?
It's going to go in. We're going to make a filling for the dough.
Okay.
So this dough we're going to put into a big bowl with a little bit of oil in the bowl. That's going to help keep it from sticking to the bowl.
Right.
But
holy cow! Look what it made.
For a couple of hours. Yeah.
It became a gigantic thing.
So
we're going to have to edit a bit here, but when we get to everyone talks about the baby, and we got some little teeny babies here. You wouldn't put these in a cake.
No, you don't want to bake those in. We're actually going to add those in after the cake is already made.
Okay.
So what we're doing, we're taking this dough, we're going to punch it down a little bit. We're going to divide it in half.
Okay.
All right, because it's going to make 2 king cakes. And we're going to roll this out. You want about a 10 by 16 square. While I'm doing this, do you want to do the filling?
Sure.
So we're going to add a filling into this. So in this little bowl right here, you're going to put the brown sugar, the flour, the cinnamon, the pecans, all of that in there, and then grab that wooden spoon there.
Okay, and beat it.
and mix it together. Okay. And then once it's mixed, you're going to add that melted butter in there.
Now, Bo, we're going to have to finish this up offline here because we're tight on time, but we're going to continue, and we're going to put the recipe on the website. Perfect. And how many king cakes are you going to sell this time of year?
We have 4 going out today on buffets, and then we'll see how many more we do after that.
All right, we're gonna take a look at that, Granddaddy, and we're gonna put the recipe on the website. And Bo, I know it takes time, but we appreciate you hustling through it as best you can. Bo Gascoigne from Port-La-France joining us. King caking over here.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, bring some over.
I could have watched him knead dough for hours. All right. Hey, we've talked about the best film.